vape with me. A moving house. And that's a really big thing in our lives. Imagine we have to downsize. So we've bought a place. It's much smaller. Well, I'm throwing out yards and yards of stuff, and actually it's been quite traumatic to look at things and think, including all my old vaping stuff. And I think I threw so much effort into that. It was so good to have this in my life. And now I'm thinking of tossing it. Well, I couldn't get myself to do it. So it's all packed up in its little pink suitcase, which it's lived in for quite a long time. This is all old devices. Attie's waiting to be wired because I couldn't be popping around with that, so I just buy them. Old e-liquid bottles, 30ml bottles I've kept in case I have to endure 10ml bottles. I'll have to decant it because my left hand, which is a stroke hand, cannot hold tiny little 10ml bottle, get the lid off and pop about with it. I'm dreading everything in 10ml bottles. I mix a lot of my own stuff anyway, so the 10ml bottles that come with the concentrate in are quite soft and squeegee, but the 10ml bottles that come with the e-liquid in, I find when you've got older hands and you're probably slightly arthritic and you lose your dexterity, trying to get the lids off, trying to squeeze, and especially this tank, which is a mini tank, which has got slits around the side. You don't just pour it into the tank, which I find a bloody nuisance actually. Otherwise the tank is lovely. It's the tank that goes with the mini curve. I don't know where I got it from. I think I got it from Totally Wicked. But the filling mechanism where you've got a slit that you've got to push the little tiny nozzle in and then squeeze the bottle, which is rigid plastic, is an absolute pain in the ass. And although I use it because I like the whole setup, and it's a very nice tank, excepting that it's too airy and I've had to put sticky tape around the holes to block them. So I've only got one hole open. So the little tank, I've no idea what it's called. I've stopped looking at these things. It's Totally Wicked mini tank that goes with the mini curve. It's too airy. It's got this really horrible filling mechanism on it with a tiny little slit that you've got to aim for, and then you've got to squeeze this tiny little 10ml bottle to get any e-liquid in there. It's absolutely dreadful. So because I mix, I put everything I do in 30ml bottles that are easily squeezable with long nozzles, and I get round that struggle with the 10ml bottles. I know somebody somewhere, was it on my blog or something, I can't remember, asked me why on earth a 30ml bottle would make any difference to a 10ml bottle. Well, for people who are handicapped in any way, it makes a very big difference, believe me. So I've got this pink suitcase with all this old stuff in it, wonderful old tanks and things that really should be in a museum. And I thought to myself, I cannot throw this away. So I'm taking it with me. So it's going to our little house, our new little house, and I'll have to find a place for it. That is only the pink suitcase. I haven't told you about all the other stuff. Next to me here, there's a little bureau, and there's a drawer packed with stuff. Over there on the, what do you call that, dresser, there is my actual vaping box that was a birthday present to me from my family. That is chockers, top drawer, bottom drawer, devices all standing on the top. So I've got to add that to that and the pink suitcase, and it's going to be quite a large parcel that we're going to have to move to our new house. Or rather, we're not moving. The movers are going to have to move it. So that's about moving. And what else have I done that has to be moved? Well, I've been collecting nuts for winter, or what I call my Armageddon stuff. And that is, if these regulations are too dreadful to endure, I think, like many other vapors are doing, I'm making plans. So in 2012, when this actually started, I bought devices because we didn't know how it would control actual devices. So I bought mechanical devices with batteries, so that if these kind of devices that actually charge on a charger with a built-in battery, so that if they failed, as they will one day, I can carry on vaping using a mechanical device, because that's so simple. You just have to have a battery and a tube. In fact, you could make a mechanical device from a torch. So I rather like the idea of mechanical devices, though they have their drawbacks. A lot of them have this delay from when you depress the button to when you actually hear the atomizer activated. And I get used to that, but these box mods and other things that I've got, and I've got a few, the delay is less noticeable. And I'm wondering whether the batteries in my mechanical mods, which I don't use very often, maybe they are getting old, like me. I find there's a bit of a delay from the activation to the actual action in myself too. So maybe I need new batteries. So I've got mechanical devices, and now I have invested in e-liquid. I actually communicated with Creme de Vape, which used to be Cloud9 Vaping, and I did some testing on their 74 milligram nicotine base in my freezer for a while, and it freezes beautifully, because in fact e-liquid, or the glycerine it is in, doesn't freeze. The freezing point of it is so low that no freezer that we have could possibly freeze it. So I did some testing on one thing, I think, and it was perfect. So then I ordered more. So in the freezer in the garage is a box specially packed, dark black, that says "do not move about" too much on it, is waiting there, and that's got enough nicotine base for me to go on for quite a few years. In fact, I might snuff it before I've finished that nicotine, and I'm intending to get some more, because I've told my children, if I snuff it, go to my freezer, get that out and sell it on the black market, because you probably get a good price for it. So I am telling you now that Creme de Vape and a lot of other places have got specially bottled nicotine base for vapors to store in their freezers. But we know that. What about all those vapors who just use ordinary devices, who suddenly find that they might not be able to do this or do that? And even though England is taking a very soft look at vaping, and we're very lucky, in America it's absolutely terrible. In the US of A, they are waiting really for this profoundly evil and badly designed Federation, what's it called, FDA, deeming regulations to come out. Whilst Canada is going to or attempting to follow our model, the British model, which is more light touch. Of course, they can't have a light touch because we belong to the EU. They have to do what they're told. Hell, that makes me cross. I don't like having to do what I'm told. I've been an eternal rebel. So of course I'm voting out for the EU. I've hated them for a long, long time. So if you're a vapor, vote leave. And perhaps if we could leave, the British government can put in proper light touch regulation that vapor products need in the UK. So now what have I done? Told you that I'm moving, and I've told you that I'm squirreling away the nuts for winter. And I suggest that if you're a serious vapor, like I am, that you do the same, that you even get knowledgeable about Article 20 and the Tobacco Control Directive. The more we know, the more we can do something about it. So protest. Get knowledgeable. Spread the word. I don't think the apocalypse is coming in the UK, but the vaping apocalypse might be coming in the US of A. And I send everybody there my deepest, deepest blessings. And I hope that something happens that makes things less severe for all of you. Because in the UK, we really have got it quite good. Thanks for vaping with me.